Hi, Dan.
All right. That was Jeff Pitchell's Fat Cigar you were listening to. And that means it's time for Not Just Blowing Smoke. Coming at you live from Twin Smoke Shop Studio headquarters in Hooksett, New Hampshire, and my secret smoking bunker. Be sure to subscribe to us on Podbean, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, Google, basically wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Pastor Padron, and I'm here with my co-hosts. At least I'm here virtually with my co-hosts, Paul and Dave. Nick is off tonight, and we are privileged to have a very special guest with us tonight, Tequila Talia, on the show with us. Thank you for being with us again, Tequila Talia.
Of course, anytime.
Well, thank you. It would have been even nicer if you could have dropped off a bottle at my house, but I'll take what I can get.
No, you live down in Haverhill. Come on, man. I don't cross the border.
Hey, come on. We're friends. We're friends. All right. Tonight's episode is you don't have to spend a lot to get a lot. And so we're featuring cigars and tobacco, and we'll be having a discussion about said things, about being able to get a lot of smoke for not a lot of money, so that you have more money to get stuff like Redbreast, which we're drinking tonight. But we'll get to that in just a little bit. We are smoking tonight the AJ Fernandez San Lotano Requiem Habano Toro, and it is a Brazilian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, Honduran and Nicaraguan filler. It's a 6x54. AJ Fernandez, who makes probably 2/3 of everything that's out there right now,
That's right.
makes this cigar, and it is really, really nice. But Talia, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Redbreast that we're having tonight? What is this stuff?
Sure. So this is a higher end Irish whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure with St. Patrick's Day coming up in a couple of days, we should focus on Irish whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jameson's also one of my brands, but everybody knows and loves Jameson. So I figured we'd go a different route.
Yep.
So Redbreast is what's called a single pot still whiskey. So
what does that mean?
when you're talking single pot Irish whiskey, they're distilling it in something called a pot still, of course, which is shaped a lot like the bottle. And as you guys know, I'm a sucker for a nice bottle shape. So that's what essentially the body of a pot still looks like. So copper is typically what they're made out of. And they say copper sort of takes out impurities and makes for a smoother whiskey. Now, you guys can be the judge of that. What do you think?
Oh, it's
Pretty
very
damn
smooth.
smooth.
Nice and
Very,
smooth.
very
Huh?
smooth.
Let me take it on this.
Yeah, let me take a little sip here before I continue.
Oh, that's very good.
So good. So most alcohol, not even just whiskey, most alcohol today is using column stills, or what they call continuous distillation. So these are those giant stainless steel monstrosities you see. Monstrosity? Yeah.
Monstrosity?
Yes. That is essentially a building size.
Monstrosities that the liquor is.
That monstrosity, something along those lines. So with the copper pot still, small batch. So think small batch, think homegrown, think one source. So they're not getting their liquid, so they're not getting their distillate or their grain whiskey from any other distillery. That's first and foremost. So kind of remember when we talked bourbon with Rabbit Hole, how I said like the majority of bourbons do this. They just source out their liquid.
Mm-hmm.
So single pot, automatically you know that they're not doing that. And having that smaller batch is, of course, giving the master distiller a lot more control over the flavor. Everything is much more flavorful in a copper pot still, being small batch, and a lot smoother, as you all can see.
And taste. Yes. Oh, it's like flavored butter.
Yeah, so what are you guys tasting? Like, what are you guys tasting before I kind of get into what you're supposed to taste now?
Well, definitely a lot of fruity notes. a little bit of spice, toasty too. Incredibly smooth. And I was talking to Talia too before the show, and I said, I don't know why I don't drink more Irish whiskey. And yeah, thank you, Dave. Whiskey. But I think this is going to help turn me into an Irish whiskey fan. I drink it here and there, but bourbon is primarily my favorite liquor. But after having this, I think I'm going to have to turn the corner and head down the Irish whiskey rabbit hole.
There we go.
Ooh, I see what you did there, Paul.
Yes, did you see that?
I see that, Pablo.
I'm getting
So
it's like a
now that we've heard that, Talia, what are we supposed to be tasting?
Hold on, I don't want to interrupt Dave here. He was gonna.
yeah.
That's okay. You can interrupt Dave.
So it's like a fruity butterscotch.
Oh,
Isn't that just what Paul
like
said?
that? I like that. So they're both. I mean, they're both hitting the notes. You can tell that they're used to tasting whiskeys. They're used to tasting cigars
Yeah.
because that's exactly what it is. You're getting really creamy. So where you're getting that butterscotch, like really creamy mouthfeel from that single pot still.
Mm-hmm.
And sherry casks are all Irish whiskey ages a part of their liquid in sherry casks. But Redbreast is using Oloroso sherry, which is like a really high-end sherry. So those fruity toasted nut flavors are coming through a lot more than would in a typical Irish whiskey where you're getting like, Jameson or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, the toasted notes, the fruit notes, really creamy, sort of sweet, but it's still spicy because it is an Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
So they're nailing it. They did good. I'm proud.
Thank you.
Proud of my guys. That's good. That's good. So now Redbreast is, there are a couple of things tonight that we're going to be talking about that don't really fit with the parameter of you don't have to spend a lot to get a lot. Redbreast is more on the high end side, right? As far as Irish whiskeys go.
It is, yes. So Redbreast 12-year, which is what we're drinking tonight, is on sale this month for $65. So yes, it's a little bit pricier, but when you think of the quality of it, it's really not that expensive. So there you go.
Yeah. So when you're talking Irish whiskeys, what to you makes Redbreast, stand out from the crowd?
So that single pot still is really, really unique because this is the only Irish whiskey on the market that is still using the single pot still method. It's very traditional. Jameson used the single pot method up until I want to say maybe 50 or so years ago. But now that it's so popular, it's impossible. So they had to switch to the column stills because it's better for production. With the demand for Jameson right now. But that single pot still, I'm telling you, it makes all the difference, and it makes that $65 worth it.
Sounds like I'm losing.
It's definitely very,
That's right.
So, Dave, what are your impressions of the cigar and the pairing so far?
Well, to me, it's definitely like a contrasting pairing. With the drink, it's really sweet, and like the cigar is very bitter. A lot of cocoa, a lot of earth. But that's what I'm getting from it. Yeah, but I like it.
Paul, what about you?
Did you say me or Talia?
Hey, I said Paul.
Okay,
I
so I couldn't hear
either.
either. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna.
What?
I'm gonna say it's a complementary pairing. The cigar on its own, I got a lot of cedar, leather, earthy tones, a tremendous amount of pepper too, right off the bat, and even some dark chocolate and a little bit of caramel. With the drink, it is pulling out a little bit more of the cedar earth tones. The leather is been muted down, very, very smooth. However, the retrohale, wow, it's like a pepper bomb. It is really, really rich. This is
Pepper
a very
bomb.
rich, but incredibly well balanced cigar. But the drink is pulling out a lot more of the cedar earth tones, but it's not dialing down the pepper note. It is just, I think it's actually enhancing it.
Wow, I'm getting the opposite.
That's not surprising.
Down pepper tone. and it's like
From the
smooth and-
retrohale, though?
yes, from the retrohale. It's like smooth and creamy
I
and
think
sweet.
it's. I think it's. I
Weird.
think it's. If anything, to me, it's enhanced it. I think it's
I
phenomenal.
think you need to drink more.
Okay, so
I agree. Paul, take another swig. There we go. Let's finish this bottle, boys.
Talia Dave has said contrasting. Paul has said
Compliment.
it's complimentary. What do you think?
Well, listen, all you guys know is that I just want to taste my whiskey. I don't want it. I don't want my cigar to come into any kind of contrast to my whiskey. I want it to be tasty. And as long as my cigar isn't like, jerking me around when I'm trying to take a puff of it, I'm good. And I'm
And-
doing good right now.
Well, I guess here's the thing: is
That's
your cigar jerking you around?
I know. That's the sales coming out in me. People pleaser.
Oh my goodness!
Dan for the tiebreaker.
Mm.
Well, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm getting a lot of pepper in the retro. You know, even on heavy
You're on
drugs,
drugs,
and
don't count.
alcohol, I'm getting heavy pepper. So I don't know what's going on, with your cigar, but woody, leathery, earthy, and cedar kind of wood. It's a really, really nice cigar. And I think the Irish whiskey is just pairing along with it. The sweetness, you both kind of mentioned a butterscotch kind of finish on the whiskey. I think that goes well with the cigar and plays with the earthy leather and cedary notes in it, and as well as the spice. I'm not getting a ton of spice on the palate, but on the retrohale, I really do pick up a fair amount of pepper.
Yeah.
It makes my nose tingle,
Yes.
and Pastor Padron likes that. So that's why.
Okay. So my definition to me of contrasting pairing means you have something sweet and you're pairing it with something that is the opposite. And I feel like that's the case with it. They go well together. But to me, that's why I'm saying it's contrasting.
All right.
So
Yeah,
it's changing the cigar to do a different thing, and it's a sweet drink, and it's changing it. So yeah, there is some pepper. I'm still not getting enough in the retrohale, but I think it's a great pairing. I just think they are contrasting because one's sweet and one's bitter.
I just don't see the cigar as bitter. To me, the Habano is not. It's not unsweet. I mean, it's not a super sweet cigar, but I'm not getting bitter. Bitter would not be one of the words I use. Huh?
I get more pepper on my mouthfeel than I do in the retro. The retro for me is like smooth and buttery.
Interesting.
All right. Well, maybe you just don't have any more nose hairs. I don't know. But I do understand what you're saying about your understanding of contrasting, and I think that's a fair point. The drink, it does have a nice sweet finish to it, and I would not say the finish of the cigar is sweet. So I understand why you're saying a contrasting. Paul, given that Dave's understanding of that and his explanation, why do you think it's complementary?
Because I think it's actually helping to pull out a little bit more of the pepper note in the cigar, which is why I go after the cigar. This cigar is a full body cigar, and in my experience of having this, and this is one of the my favorite AJ Fernandez cigars, as I used to smoke this all the time, is that I knew I was going to get a lot of leather pepper notes out of it. And so if I wanted to have a nice full body cigar that had a nice oomph of pepper, this is the cigar I would go after. And the Maduro version does not have the pepper note that this does, and that's from the Habano wrapper. So and the cigar and the drink is absolutely pulling out more of it for me. So that's why I'm calling it complimentary.
I just got a big nose of pepper.
He woke up. He's awake.
Gentlemen.
Sleep notes finally
producer's
came into
awake.
contact with ours. That's very good. Yeah, there you go.
It's contrasting.
So, and you know what's great about this cigar? What's great about this cigar here is that it's $7.50.
Oh God, yeah. It's a
This
great.
is when you're talking about getting a great cigar without having to spend a lot of money, this is a fantastic example of that.
Yes.
You're getting a whole lot of flavor, a great consistent cigar, a cigar that is I don't know I can't see your cigars well enough there, but if it's burning like mine, you're not having any construction issues or anything like that. There's no soft spots in the cigar. You're getting a really, really nice smoke for well under $10.
Yep, it is, and the construction is absolutely spot on. It's a razor sharp burn line. Ash is it's really cut. It's a gray ash, but it's holding up very, very well. I'm kind of ashing the cigar a little bit more than I normally would, just because I don't want to get it over me. But still,
Yep.
and the wrapper, it's very sheen, and it not a lot of lines or veins in it. It's really, really a beautiful cigar to look at.
That's a good point. There's not a whole lot of veins in mine either. It's very smooth,
Yep.
very shiny, nice oily cigar.
Yep. He knows how to make a great cigar, AJ.
Mm.
He does. I can see Talia looking at it. She's marveling at it.
I'm like, oh yeah, he's right.
Get all up down. Oh, yes. Gonna smoke you, baby. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right. Requiem, that's a good name for me too. I dig it.
Now that brings up the point here. You just got married. Congratulations.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Oh yes,
Mhm.
thank you very much.
And so, what's the when the marriage license comes back? What's the official name?
The official name will be Natalia Lee Bruladakis Thorogood.
Woo! That's a
Yeah.
long one.
That's a long one, right? That's a mouthful, if you will.
Even the kids' names, it's gonna be hard.
It's great.
Better
I
take a
love it.
breath.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's gonna fit on my license. I don't know what.
I don't know. I think Tequila Talia rolls off the tongue just a
Yeah.
little bit.
That's
so
all we're
much
gonna call
better.
you.
So much better. It's funny too.
It's gonna
Who
be-
calls me like my whiskey accounts call me Jameson Talia. So it's funny that you guys call me Tequila Talia because I think most of what I've talked about is whiskey, but I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it. Tequila Talia, it's nice.
Well,
yeah.
It
well,
has
the
nice
first time,
ring to it. It's
Yeah.
like, Pastor Padron. There's other sorts of nicknames I could have,
Yeah,
given
Reverend.
what I like to smoke.
and it's
You know,
funny, the first
the
time
Reverend
we met,
Aroma, the what are some of the other things? The Pontiff of Perdomo or something like that. But there's something about Pastor Padron. It just rolls off the tongue.
Mhm.
when
You know?
the name Tequila Talia didn't really come until the second time she
Yeah.
came on the show, because the first time was with the Jefferson Ocean.
Yep.
Right.
Mm.
The
That was
second
so
time
good.
was the Avion, and that's pretty much
Oh,
when
yeah.
your name
Tequila
stuck.
Talia.
Well, it was funny because the Jefferson Ocean, I was kind of thrown into a room with you guys. I'd
I
never met
know.
any of you. And Kendra's just like, all right, go downstairs. Like, go meet the boys.
We're all crammed into
I
that back
was up
office,
there,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh,
smoke's still in the air, and
Just as-
you're, what am I getting myself into here?
Well, it was great because I had done a Jefferson Ocean tasting upstairs for the hour before. So I was already pretty toasted when I came and saw you guys. So I was feeling
I
good.
just thought you were naturally
Oh,
happy. Okay.
All the toasted Talia.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Mhm. Toasted
me tell
Talia. We're waiting
I
to-
had had at least 4
Mhm.
oceans before I came and talked
Okay.
to you.
Oh my goodness. So you want to give us some details about the wedding? Where was it? When was it? And all that stuff?
So February 20th on the beach in
day
New
after
York,
my
Maine.
birthday.
Nice. Nice.
30-degree
Weddings
day.
are the best. Beach weddings are the best. Doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It's a way to do it.
Yep. So it was beautiful weather. It was that partly cloudy. So you had the sunshine for warmth, but you had the clouds for really sick pictures. And let me tell you, those pictures were amazing.
I saw them. They were
Yeah.
what you showed us. They looked
Mhm.
very nice, and that cape too.
Oh yeah, I think I might have to change my picture up there to me in that fucking cape because
Yeah, that's an
that
awesome
hooded
thing.
robe. I don't like to. Well, yes, I do. I love to toot my own horn, and let me tell you,
Okay,
I
then.
look phenomenal in that fucking robe.
Yes.
You notice
Mm.
that thumb's coming out too, and I describe how awesome I looked.
You did look awesome. You showed me some pictures. It
Yeah.
was great.
Thank you.
Now I understand there's a couple funny stories maybe from that day. You want to share any of them with us?
Oh my goodness. Well, I assume you're talking about the one I told you, which was one of the couple I told you. Over some red breast. Oh my god, I can't say red breast. Anyway, so
You just did.
we're in the
Red
hotel
breast.
room. The ladies are
Red
getting ready. And my pop shows up around 11. The ceremony is supposed to start at noon. So he says, all right, so what time do I have to be back here to drive you to the beach? I said, quarter of, 10 of, whatever. So he says, okay, cool, I got some time. He goes, I'm going to go drink with my brothers, so my uncles, and I'll come back and get you. I said, okay. I assumed he just went to my uncle's room to hang out and drink, like he said. Lo and behold, I find out the next day that he had forgot the cigars, which was the one thing I asked this man to do. I asked him, please bring 15, 20 cigars so that we can smoke them after. So he had completely forgotten the cigars. So he went to my uncle's room in a panic. Like, I got 45 minutes. Where can we go? So we're in York. Kittery, Maine is the closest place that they have cigars. So thank God my Uncle Chris drove, because my dad is a classic, like, right at the speed limit, maybe 10 above. My uncle drives about 90 miles an hour, he says, down to Kittery. They go to this smoke shop, which is also a head shop because we're in Maine.
Mhm.
So they walk in and they go, all I see is bongs and bowls and paraphernalia. And they're just like, again, completely panicked as they walk in the door. They finally find cigars. Couldn't tell you what we were smoking because I was drinking. So they managed to make it back in time for the ceremony. But it's funny, like, as the bride, nobody tells you what kind of behind the scenes craziness is going on.
Right.
And that was one of my favorite stories.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, that was going to be one of my questions. What did you smoke? You have no idea.
I don't know.
It was brown.
It was a cigar. We didn't end up smoking them until after the reception. So by then, I mean, I don't know. I got pictures. Maybe we can zoom in.
Now, was everybody smoking cigars?
So it was my uncles, of course, the Greeks.
Mhm.
The
Greeks.
The Greeks.
We have to label them.
The Greeks.
That's right.
That's awesome.
The hubby, the best man, the other groomsmen, my brother, and then my maid of honor took like two little puffs off of one. So there's a cool picture of the two of us smoking cigars. But I was of course smoking. I smoked too.
For you.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Talia, you got plans for St. Patty's Day?
Yeah, my plans are, as the Jameson rep, to bounce around downtown Manchester and spend a lot of money. Those are my plans.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've been prepping for weeks.
Are you going to be making a visit to our location?
In Londonderry?
Yeah. No?
She's too cool for Londonderry. folks.
No, that's not it. I'll be too drunk to get to Londonderry.
Yeah,
and I
good
don't,
idea.
I don't
Don't
think,
drive.
Yeah, I don't think my
Uber.
boss will approve of an Uber down there. I mean, we'll see where the day leads
Well, just
me.
checking up
but,
on the accounts to make sure that the right amount of Jamesons
Yeah,
is...
I had to make sure I went to Twins,
drunk.
boss man. Like, gotta make
Well,
sure
yeah.
Jameson's being drank, right?
That's right, yeah. Spend
Oh,
some money to death.
I already spent a good amount of money there. It's great. He's like, so Twins, you're actually succeeding there. No other rep has ever done anything with you guys except for me. So
And then did you say, well, that's because I'm Tequila Talia?
that's exactly what I said.
That's awesome.
The hidden gem.
That's right.
oh my gosh, this is awesome. So let's pull things into the the theme of the show here and talk about how you don't have to spend a lot to get a lot.
All right.
You know, Paul and Dave, I'd like to know, what are some of your, it's always been one of the things that I've said, that you do not have to pay a lot of money to get a world-class cigar. And I have said for years, and even though, the price of cigars is still creeping up, I still think it's true. You don't need to spend more than $10 to get a world-class cigar. I think this is a great example of that.
Yep.
But what are some of your choices that people could enjoy of cigars that are really, really good? And Dave, I don't mean just okay that you like spending $6 on, but are really, really good, fantastic cigars. Great deal for under $10.
Basically, Dave, don't say that cigar that I know you smoke every day.
Well, actually, that cigar actually does show up on my list because I actually was a big fan of that cigar back in the day when that was my tractor cigar, was the La Roma de Cuba.
When I was driving tractors.
So the La Roma de Cuba original line between $5.75 and $8.50, 3 different sizes. I used to smoke that Immensa cigar because it took me about an hour and a half to smoke that one, and my lawn took me an hour and a half, and I knew that was going to be my tractor cigar from that point on. So Roma de Cuba definitely does show up on my list. One of my all-time favorite cigar lines that is between $5 and $7 is the Charter Oak line. That is a phenomenal line.
Yes.
You've got the Connecticut Shade, the Connecticut Broadleaf, and the Habano now, and that to me is one of my all-time favorite cigar lines. It's a value cigar. It's a fantastic value cigar, but it's a great cigar too. I mean, just great flavors you get out of it.
Rated best cigar under $10 by Cigar Aficionado.
Absolutely, and there's no doubt about it. And we've turned more customers on to that line, I think, than any other line, just for the value alone.
We can't even keep it in stock.
We can't. I mean, and speaking with the rep, the company foundation is growing so big that they are, having issues just because of the back ordering and getting the wrappers to be able to make them. So it's just exploding.
And Paul, would you agree? I would pay like $2 or $3 more for each of those sticks and still think I was getting a great deal.
Absolutely. I would absolutely agree with that. I think they and let's not let Nick Malello hear that.
Strike that.
Keep it down. Did not hear what I just said. Did not hear what I just said.
One of the other cigar lines that I really love, and it is another AJ Fernandez line, is the New World. And for me, particularly the Oscuro line, the Maduro. And we brought 2 new sizes, Rotundo, and then what I've been smoking a lot of lately is the Double Corona box pressed. And that is just a phenomenal line too. Great value, great cigar. Anywhere from $6 to $8.50 on that. The one line that we don't really talk much about, but it is a fantastic line too, is the Brick House from C. Newman, between $6 to $8.50. And specifically to me, I actually love the Connecticut, the double Connecticut. You've got a Connecticut Shade and a Connecticut Broadleaf binder, and it's really between $6 to $7 in that line. That's a fantastic cigar too. That line.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna steal your show.
Go right ahead. You steal away.
Yes. This is.
You can't just repeat everything Paul said.
This is the Illusion Cigar Privé.
Yeah.
Box pressed. Oh my, $7.75.
$7.75. Well, the whole line is between $7.75 to $8.75.
Yeah, but that one in particular is unbelievable.
The box press one, yeah. Well, that
buttery finish.
I think everyone knows that's one of my favorite. All-time favorite
I'm surprised
cigars.
you didn't mention it first. So
well, I want to be able to showcase other cigars that are in that under $10 that I think is a fantastic value too.
Yep. Aladino's Vintage Selection Rothschild.
Correct.
$6.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Aged 5 years.
Yep.
Where the other Rothschilds in that selection are $10.
Another great line that we actually brought, we're expanding on this line too, from Aganorsa Leaf, is the JFRs. Between $6.25 and $7.25 for the 3 sizes that we offer. That's a fantastic cigar too. That is becoming probably a great find for people who are looking for A reasonably inexpensive cigar, but a great cigar. Medium full body San Andreas wrapper, Nicaraguan fillers. We're selling a lot of those here in Londonderry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dave, what do you say about the
Jiffers?
No, just in general. What's your offerings? What do you have to say about the?
Well, my all-time favorite is La Roma
I
di
know
Cuba
that.
Robusto.
Yeah.
Because I smoke like one a day or so.
Or four.
Or four, depending. It's just an unbelievable cigar. All of the 724 dog walkers are just unbelievable. Those are all great smokes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice 30, 40 minute cigar. Yep.
Yep. Can't have too much of those.
Another line too, and again, it goes with a very high-end family, but the Perdomo 1000 series, I think, is
You mean the Padron?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Padron. Padron 1000 series is another great cigar line that's between what $7 and just under $10 for that line. It's a very, we sell a lot of those too.
Yeah.
It's that's actually a really good cigar for that price.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me add a few to what's already been said too.
Go ahead, Patrick.
The 724 original blend Lancero
Yes.
930 is a fantastic cigar. A couple of years ago, it was the highest rated Honduran cigar in Cigar Aficionado. Got like a 92, I believe. It is a fantastic world-class cigar, under $10. For me, the Roma Craft and Temperance line, whether you're talking about the Brazilian Arapiraca or the Ecuadorian Connecticut, all of them are under $10, well under $10, and are very, very good cigars.
Yep, and they just won Factory of the Year too, because they have cigars with the highest ratings coming out of one factory.
Yep.
The whole line.
Yeah. Real great, real consistent stuff. Another great cigar that's just under $10 to me is the Christoph Vengeance Perfecto.
Yep.
At $9.99, Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. And what a cigar that is! It's just a great example of a really fine, frankly difficult shape to roll for under $10.
Yeah, that
and
reminds.
Another thing that's really good too is just about anything, any of the core line Hammer and Sickle cigars.
Yep. Yes.
They're all under $10.
Yep.
I think what $965 is the most, or $975 is the most expensive thing they have.
Yep.
It's anything by Hammer and Sickle is just amazing. And if you like Dominican tobacco, especially, you like a cigar that's medium to mild, you're going to love their stuff. And they're really easy on the wallet. Those are great cigars.
Yeah. And then another one by Aladino, the Lancero.
The Elegantes.
The Elegantes.
Oh,
the Elegantes,
$7.75. Yep.
$7 or $7.50.
$7 for the Habano. Yeah, that is an absolutely fantastic cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yep.
Oh, and the one I had today, the 724 Core Line Club Perfecto.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
really good too.
That's one of my favorite original line cigars.
Mm-hmm. Now, Talia.
Yes,
We've
sir.
been talking and you've been sleeping and snoring because maybe we're taking notes. I don't know.
No.
But what about whiskeys and bourbons? That you rep. Do you have any really good value things that you might be able to recommend? Like
Yeah.
I know it's a Jameson Repeal Batch is one of our favorites, I think.
The Jameson Black Barrel.
Mm.
So the Jameson Black Barrel, if you're looking for a really high-end tasting Irish whiskey and you don't want to break the bank, Jameson Black Barrel is where it's at. It's around 33, usually give or take a buck or two, depending on the sales. but it is extremely smooth. And if you like bourbon and you're trying to kind of explore the Irish realm, I definitely recommend Jameson Black Barrel as your first stop because it kind of blends the two perfectly, where you're getting bourbon notes, but you're also staying true to that kind of spicy Irish taste. It is
Yeah.
unbelievable. I think my husband, it's weird to say, my husband and I probably go through I'd say 2 bottles a week. It doesn't sound that much for someone who's a liquor rep, but that's mixed in with all the other stuff that we drink. So Black Barrel Jameson, definitely a good buy.
Sweet.
Very, very good.
And actually, if we're kind of staying to my name with Tequila Talia, Altos Tequila is not something that I don't think we've really talked about much on the show. I think I mentioned it in my like top 5 faves a few months ago. But Altos Tequila usually ranges, again, $25, give or take. And it is so premium for that price. They use all the traditional methods of tequila making. And if you like Patron, I'm telling you right now, go out and try Altos. Because I filled a bottle of Patron with Altos tequila, and not a single person said anything about it when they were drinking it. So
Suckers.
half the price, double the quality. So Altos tequila, definitely a good one.
Was this at a private party or was this at a bar?
No, it was a private party. They don't let me do things like that at bars. It's illegal or whatever.
Yeah. So, Potion Master, if you're listening, she hasn't done this to you. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
I have been thinking about doing it as kind of like a spoof with a like a training, so kind of a staff training and seeing if they can tell, because I guarantee none of them would tell.
So a Coke and Pepsi thing.
Oh yeah. Oof.
So you know that I'm not a huge tequila drinker
I do.
until you came on the scene and then changed my view of that with the Avion. Am I
Absolutely.
going to be picking up the Avion type of flavor, or am I going to be picking up more of like a traditional tequila with that?
It's more traditional tequila. So if there is Avion that's not the 44 that you would like because it's peppery.
Yep.
So if you're looking for the Avion tequila that's not like, $125, they have the
Yes,
they
Yes.
yes, please.
yes, they have the silver reposado and añejo that are 45, 55, 60 type range.
Okay,
So they're still
okay.
a little bit higher than your average tequila, but you'll like it because it has those peppery notes that you loved about the Avion 44.
Yep.
And you'll like the reposado or the añejo, probably añejo more, because it has the aged barrel smoothness to it.
Yep.
There we go.
All right.
Language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So while Paul's drinking again, Dave, what is our TU word of the week?
Oh. Do.
You're still having to look for it, aren't you?
So. Wow, it didn't save my place.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Memory, Dave. Memory.
So the tobacconist word of the day is Habano seed.
Habano seed.
For the Habano wrapper here. Is a traditional Cuban seed varietal family that has been hybridized and crossbred to create many new modern varietals. The traditional Habano seed is still used to produce many cigars throughout Central America and the Caribbean.
I applaud you for pronouncing all those words correctly with all the red breast we've been drinking.
Thought I murdered them. So that's
What have you been drinking? Dave, I really want some of that left for me.
I'll buy you a
Don't
bottle.
worry, it's still half full. Don't worry. I won't. Well, I guess you can't really trust me to not drink the
No, I
rest.
can't trust you at all, Sally, but what can I do? So maybe this is the part of the show where we bring up the obvious. Why the hell aren't I there? And
Yes, where are you,
why
Pastor?
am I Skyping in?
Yes.
It's
Why are you
not the
trying to
train
mimic
wave I'm
Bernie
doing
Sanders?
Skyping. It's last night I was making dinner and cooking something in a pressure cooker, and as I was opening the lid, I misread that the pressure cooker was ready to be opened, and twisted the lid, which was easy to do, and the lid then blew off, and an explosion of carrots, potatoes, onions, and broth blew out upon Pastor Padron and blew me back. And as a result, I have burned my hands. I have second-degree burns on my hands here, and I had to go to the emergency room to have it treated. And because of the drugs they have put me on, I have needed to be at home, unable to drive. So, fortunately, Red Breast and the cigar and the pipe tobacco were delivered to me by Pablo Maduro. Thank you very much, Pablo.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
I was really hoping that Talia would step up and drop me off a bottle from my cup,
Come on, man.
which would really help me out. Might get me
I
off.
have an actual job. I go,
But,
what's your address? He says, hey,
I,
man.
Talia, I know you
I
still love
know.
me. I know you love me. But anyway, so that's why I'm here. And so, honestly, the hands, that they sting some, but the last night the pain was unfreaking believable. And I tell you, when that pot blew off and that stuff blew all over me, original sin just kind of man, I cussed like a sailor, but and whipped my shirt off. I'm actually thankful. I was wearing a Kurt's Dixon flannel shirt, so my
Saves the day.
midsection was spared, from getting blasted by that stuff. But wow, unfreaking believable.
Oh, I'm just happy you're better and you will be okay.
I'm happy I'll be okay. They're telling the once the huge, disgusting, inch to 2 inch blisters pop and the skin flails off my body and everything.
God.
Um,
Oh man, we're drinking away.
you can actually see where they've started to pop and ooze into my wounds and bandages and stuff. It's disgusting.
Come on.
But the doctors were telling me that I'm gonna have to put like SPF 50 on my hands for like the next 6 months.
Really?
To protect them from the sun, even if I'm driving.
Wow.
That has to become part of my routine. Otherwise, I'm gonna have the Michael Jackson effect going on, and
Oh, no,
wow.
no.
I'll be even whiter if that is possible.
I can't wait till he's Dan, did you remember your lotion?
All right, Dave, let's not talk about Dan remembering the lotion. That's something that Kurt does not want to have on the show here, okay? All right. Now,
on the soundboard.
my cigar confession of the week. Let's talk about that. All right. Our theme, you don't have to spend a lot to get a lot, does not really apply to humidors. And, I have had a number of conversations in the recent past with people saying, I just can't get my humidor anywhere above 30 or 40% humidity. I can't understand why. Well, tell me a little bit about your humidor. and then they look at me kind of sheepishly and say, well, I got it for $40 on Amazon. At which point I just kind of look at them like, well, there's your problem. You know, what, you know, if you are, you know, you're storing, let's say you've got, you know, 20 cigars in your humidor, and let's say you're on the real cheap side and they're all Charter Oaks. So you've got, you know, 20, you know, Charter Oaks in your humidor. So you have $100 worth of cigars in a humidor that you spent $40 on, and you expect the cigars to be okay. It's probably not going to happen. And when it comes to humidors, and Dave and Paul, especially, you guys can chime in and tell me if you agree or not. I find you really need to spend as much money as you can on a good humidor in order to, if you're gonna, you know, just because it looks nice doesn't mean it's going to work. And, you know, one of the things I'll tell people is, okay, well, when you get back home to your humidor, take a dollar bill, put it halfway into the humidor with the lid up, and then shut the lid on it. If you can pull that dollar bill out really easily, then the seal on that humidor is not good enough to keep any kind of humidity in the box at all, and it's just going to leak out. And you that's typically what happens when you are spending, you know, 20, 30, 40, $50 on a box that is a size of what we might sell for 100, 150, 160 bucks to hold the same amount of cigars. What do you guys think?
Yep, absolutely. I've been talking to a lot of people too when they, in the same thing you said, Dan, that they can't get their humidors up to the proper humidification level. And I'd say probably half of them will tell me that they have a glass top humidor and they actually did get it online. So one of the things we always say is if you really care about your cigars, you really got to care about what kind of humidor you keep them in. So I always will say you just got to do away with the glass top. The glass top specifically in the wintertime is going to just seep out the humidity. It doesn't give a very good proper seal. You want to get a nice solid humidor with true Spanish cedar.
Yep.
Do the proper seasoning. And if you keep up with your humidor, use the packs. Packs is my personal favorite. The humidipacks to humidify your humidor.
Yep.
And you will have a much better success keeping that humidification level where it needs to be. So
Yep.
just spend the money. Don't go cheap. You just gotta, like I said, if you really care about the cigars, you gotta care about and be willing to pay a little bit more for a proper humidor.
Yep. Yep.
I think I spent about 100 on ours.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you spend $50 on a humidor that you have $100 worth of cigars in?
correct. Yep.
You know, let's, you know, maybe make it a rule that you know, don't spend less money than it would take for a box of the cigars you like the most to keep in your humidor to spend on a humidor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, Talia. I feel like a louse. What were you saying?
Don't worry, that's all right.
No, I feel bad enough. I feel bad enough since I only have this little bit of red breast here left.
I know. That's all right. At least we got sort of our fill when I came in last week to try you on.
Yeah, no, that's true. That was awesome.
Off the sample bottle, no less. Oh, don't tell anybody.
No, I paid for that.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
I so paid for that. So what's our final verdict here on the San Lotano Requiem Habano Toro?
It's a absolutely fantastic cigar, fantastic value. Like I said, with the Toro at $7.50, you cannot go wrong if you like a nice full body cigar, cedar, leather, the pepper note, and has not subsided at all, specifically on the retrohale. So if you want a nice peppery leather cedar, a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of that dark chocolate and caramel is still a little bit there too. The drink is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to continue to say it's a complimentary pairing, and it's going so well with this cigar. So I would absolutely suggest you get this and get the red breast too.
That's right.
Talia, what did you think?
I think, drink it. Drink some red breast if you're gonna buy it. That's what I think.
I think it's kind of okay, but the red breast is fantastic.
So good.
What do you think of the cigar, though, Talia?
No, I liked it. Like I said, I mean, I'm not as versed in speaking about cigars, but I do like to be able to taste my whiskey while I'm smoking my cigar. And I think it did well because I smoked a little bit of the cigar before I tried the whiskey. And once again, I did like both better together than apart.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So it is complimentary.
Complimentary.
Yes.
A complimentary, contrasting flavor.
Booyah.
All right, Dave. What are you still holding by your contrasting pairing thing?
Contrasting pairing, because I'm getting the peppery and the earth and leather. I'm not getting too much, if at all, sweetness from the cigar. I think the drink brings it out in the cigar more than it had itself. And I think it's a great pairing, but I think it is, to me, it's still contrasting. I get like this fruity, buttery scotches finish with the drink. And I get the pepper finish from the cigar. So I'm getting two contrasting tastes, but together it's really good.
Well, and if he's talking about contrasting, when you think about contrasting colors, like purple and green, they're contrasting colors, but they complement each other. So I think that's kind of what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Sure. Yep. I'm trying to defend you here. You say yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Remember, we are talking about the guy who thinks Jar Jar Binks was a drunken master Sith.
Oh God.
Oh, you had to bring it up. Yeah, I had to bring it up. It's not that I think that he was. I think it would have been a great idea to redeem the character if they had made that canon, but they didn't. So he sucks.
Nope, Davey didn't. All right, we're going to take our break right now. We'll be right back, and we're going to be smoking some of Cornell Diehl's Billy Bud when we do. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So, how did Tobacconist University start? Where did the idea come from to start doing something to train other people's staff in the art of tobacconist stuff?
So I opened in September of '95. By January, I knew I was a complete idiot, even though I'd read everything I could. January '96, I went to Cuba just to really try and, because, it doesn't matter how much you hang out in shops, and if you've read everything there is to read on cigars. At the time, you literally could read everything there is to read. And I did. And it wasn't enough. So I went to Cuba. I got lucky. I ran into the director general of Cuba Tobacco at the Partagas bar. We became great friends drinking there. And he gave me access to farms and all sorts of old books and documents and really cool stuff. And when I got back, I turned it into like a fundamental educational course for my tobacconists, because I've always wanted, I didn't want to compete on price or volume in my business. I wanted to be a luxury, a boutique, a product specialist. I wanted to be the best professional we could be. And so it made sense that if I'm having a hard time being that person, I need to create a system to help others. And I started on that in '96. And I believe by November of that year, we started teaching a course at a local hotel where the general manager was a customer of mine. We had like 30 or 40 or more customers come in, and we taught it over the course of a month. It was called Cuban Cigar University. Then I had opened a store by November of that year in New Hope, Pennsylvania. And a year or two later, I opened another one back in at Marietta, Georgia, Atlanta, where my uncle and aunt ran it. So I was training them. I was certifying consumers. And it used to be a giant binder. It still is. I mean, that's the old version. I have it. That I would give to employees. And then I developed a test. And then around 2003, I saw the way the industry was going. So many challenges, retail side, legislation, taxation, that I wanted to, I call it turning it inside out. Instead of just making it for our shops, I wanted to make it for every shop. And I spent from 2003 to like 2005, 2006, because you think it's simple. Oh, I'll just make it for everybody and I'll put it online.
Sure.
But it was a lot of work. And then when you do that, you see all the holes you have. So I had to double down on pipes, make that better, get video for rolling. So it was a process, but I think by 2006, we became the official academic curriculum of what was converting from the RTD8 to then being the IPCPR.
Right.
And, we've just been growing since. I remember we didn't have any. My employees were the only certified tobacconists at the time. And slowly but surely, I think today we're up over 667 or something certified retail tobacconists. With many more than that apprenticing, so it's been quite the ride.
Now, Paul here is going to show you how to properly light a cigar.
Okay, so what I do is it's a two-step process. The first thing I want to do is I want to tee it up or toast the cigar. All right, now there's a couple of ways you can toast the cigar. What I notice a lot of people do is they'll take their cigar, they'll take their lighter, they'll ignite it, and they'll go ahead and move the lighter so that it's touching the tobacco, touching the footing here until it's properly toasted. What I do is I actually hold the lighter steady, and I'll take the cigar and I'll get it just over the light until it starts to ignite, and then I'll just rotate it. And what I'm doing here is I'm adhering the wrapper to the binder. I'm just sealing it up.
That's amazing, Paul.
Yeah.
You're doing such a great job.
All right, so now it's toasted. Now comes the light. And what I do is I'll start off and I'll do quarter turns. All right, so ignite your lighter. Again, you want to keep the cigar just above the light. That's the hottest part of the flame, just until you can see it ignite.
And you see how he's pulling the lighter back as he's doing it.
Perfect. That's what you want. You'll be successful every time if you do that.
Okay, go.
All right, we are back, people, and we are smoking Billy Bud, Melville at Sea, and we are smoking the bulk version of this from Cornell Diehl. And this is an offering that they make that is available both in bulk and in a tin. And if you get the tin, what it says on the tin is a heavy Latakia blend with rough cut burley, bright Virginia flake, and a good amount of rough cut cigar leaf. Billy Bud was created for Cornell Diehl's late friend, Salomon Jack, whoever the heck that was. And, manufactured by Cornell Diehl. It's English, if you want to say it's a Latakia blend. You could also say it's a cigar leaf blend tobacco. It's burley, cigar leaf, Latakia, and Virginia. There's no added flavorings in this pipe tobacco. It's a coarse cut. And we are, am I not mistaken, continuing to have the red breast with this?
Mm-hmm. More red breast. Yep.
More red breast, Dave?
Red breast.
More red breast?
Do you have any left, Pastor?
I do. This is what I have. That's it. That's what I have left. That's the last before you
Hey,
finish.
valiant effort keeping it around.
That's so
Oh,
cute.
thank you very much. So, what's the initial thoughts here on the tobacco and the pairing? And this time we'll start with Paul.
So I had this for the first time earlier today. I just want to get a sense of what we'll be smoking tonight.
Mhm.
So the tobacco, I got a lot of like, it's slightly sweet,
Mhm.
smoky, very rich, creamy, silky smooth. Just really, really nice, smooth tobacco. I think this is a very flavorful, very rich flavor I'm getting out of this. And if I'm not mistaken, when I was doing a little bit of research, this is a more of a fuller body blend, correct? Or
Correct.
full body
Yep.
tobacco, but maybe
Yep.
more of a not a huge nick hit. You know, it's got a little nick hit, but not a huge nick hit. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, yeah. Latakia by nature does not have a ton of vitamin N to it,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not going to be. It's going to be have much more body than strength. Let's
Yes.
see.
Yep. I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Talia,
Nice.
what are you thinking? This is we've got you smoking a pipe. We're moving you in the right direction of life.
I know. I feel
You're
like Frosty.
Going to
Or
be appreciative.
I-
He may not be right up front, but he will be. So what are you thinking of this?
it's not as daunting as I originally anticipated.
Daunting.
I tell you, it's been a long time since I've smoked a tobacco pipe here, and it I'm really getting the hang of it.
How do you think it's going with red breast?
Good. I think I have so much of that red breast flavor in my mouth that this is kind of it's spicing it up a little. I got like a little more spice hanging onto my tongue than I did while I was smoking the cigar. So I actually kind of like that.
That's nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can see that happening. Dave, what about you? What are you thinking of the tobacco and the pairing initially?
The tobacco is very rich. A little bit of some spice. The retrohale is very smooth and creamy.
Yep.
And I think that pairs really well with that creamy, buttery, fruity scotchiness, whatever it is from the drink.
No scotch, honey. No scotch.
No
And
scotch, Dave. No scotch.
okay. But I think it's pairing very well.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good because it is. Now, why buy bulk tobaccos? Kind of keeping with our theme here. You don't have to spend a lot to get a lot. Cornell Diehl is one of these companies that offers a number of their popular blends that are available in tins, in bulks as well. Whoops, there goes my phone. Hold on a minute here. And let me. There we go. I think that's good. One of the questions that is often asked of me. Yeah. Hold on here.
Danny, what's happening over there?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Let's see here. Where'd you go?
We're right here.
All right, there we go.
There you are.
All right, let's see here. What about this? How's that? Is that good?
Yep. There you are.
Are you sure we didn't give you enough red breast over there? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
I'm very sure.
That's a Percocet.
Very sure.
Okay. So, one of the questions I get, when pipe tobacco is available in bulk as well as in a tin, is that what's in the tin better than what's offered bulk? Yeah, in other words, do they put the best stuff of the batch in tins, and then whatever's left over, do bulk? Like you're getting like bulk is like a second, almost like seconds of the tobacco, and that's not the case. Everything is made all at once. Some of it is put into tins, some of it is put into big bulk bags. So you're not getting like a tobacco that's second rate when you're getting the bulk, but you're not paying for the packaging, which means you're paying much less. Billy Bud is a tobacco that if we were selling it at Twins would be $13.50 a tin. Because it's in bulk, it's about $3.50 an ounce. So for $7, $6.99, I think we sell it for. You're getting just as much tobacco at about half the cost. And there's several blends that Twins carries that's like that, Haunted Bookshop and Autumn Evening, in addition to Billy Bud. Those are all blends that Cornell Diehl makes available in tins as well. But the reason we carry them in bulk is because you, the consumer, can get much more for your money buying it in bulk instead of paying for the cost of the tin, the label, and all, and the effort it takes to put all that stuff together. So going bulk is a great way to save some money and still get some really, really good pipe tobacco. And there's a lot of good bulk things available out there. I'll start off, saying that Eric Stokeby, who does the fourth generation tobacconist brand, just came out with 3 great bulk blends. Morning blend, the afternoon melange, and evening flake, all of which you can get 2 ounces for under $10. And they're all fantastic tobaccos.
Yeah.
If they were offered in tins, they'd be somewhere between $16, $17, $18 a tin for a couple of ounces of the stuff. So you can get a lot of great tobacco for the money. And, pipe smoking, even when you're buying tins, is a lot cheaper than buying cigars. But you can even get, the same high quality stuff without having to spend even as much money as you would with pipe tobacco. What are some other examples you guys have of bulk blends that you guys would recommend to people?
Engine 99 is
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorites. I think that's a fantastic tobacco. I know Dave loves this, and we're finding a lot of customers, and we always seem to sell out of this particular tobacco. Is Autumn Evening. Autumn Evening is a very, very popular. It's got a very unique flavor. That maple just is unique in terms of, in my eyes, and versus everything else that we sell, and specifically in the bulk.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorites is the Turkish Twist.
Oh,
Yeah. Peter Stokeby's Turkish Twist,
Absolutely.
which is luxury twist flake.
Yep.
That's a big one there.
luxury Navy flake.
The Navy Flake
Yeah.
too, the Portsmouth
Mhm.
Shipyard.
Yep.
That's a fantastic tobacco as well.
Yep.
We've got what, over 30 different
And then bullseye.
Bullseye, the
Yeah.
Eversgate coin.
Oh, I almost
Uh,
got it.
Yeah.
So we've got over 30 different Twins blends that you can get for 2 ounces for about $7. They're all phenomenal.
Well,
They
and
are
even,
all
even
phenomenal.
the black Irish X, the brown Irish X,
Correct.
bird's eye. Yep. Those, all
Yep.
fantastic.
Smoked meat.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's funny. One of the things that
So
Talia, you'll be smoking next week is a 1Q
Yes.
by Lane Limited, and that's been the best-selling bulk tobacco since it came out back in the 70s. And
World.
for you Captain Black fans out there, Captain Black Royal, the blue can, is 1Q.
Yep.
It is the same tobacco, and it's what are those cans, Paul? They're
46 bucks.
but it's 12 ounces, right?
Yep.
Yep. For $46, you can get a pound of 1Q, what we call Granite State, for 40.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually get 4 more ounces for $6 less.
Yep.
You know,
People in the
saved
know.
a lot of money.
Yep.
Although it is funny to me that Captain Black, the people who smoke the Captain Black Blue, they tell me that 1Q is close, but kind of no cigar. Like it's not this exact same thing. Yet I know from talking to Max Stokkeby, who works with Scandinavian Tobacco Group, who makes this stuff. Yes, it's exactly the same stuff, which kind of goes to show that how your perception of a tobacco, because of the branding that's on it, can affect your perception of the tobacco.
Yep.
Just like Talia was saying, how she put that one tequila into the Patron bottle, and everyone thought it was a Patron. Yeah, it's what you see kind of has a big impact on what your taste buds tell you you're getting.
Right.
And some people are really surprised when they find out that 1Q and Captain Black Blue are the same exact thing.
It's all in their head.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kurt's Special Reserve.
Okay.
Well, as far as cigars go, that's like the same sort of. Oh, you're not. People don't. Anyway.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that, Dave. So, Paul, do you have anything about what's happening at Twins this week?
What's happening this week? Well, obviously we have St. Patty's Day coming up on Wednesday. Yes. And the bar will be opening up at 11 o'clock, 1 hour earlier.
Drinking starts early this
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Now, we are expecting a big crowd. I know we still are somewhat restricted, but we do have the deck opened. And what the weather forecast has said, it's going to be around 50 degrees, partly sunny. So if you don't mind maybe hanging out and outside, wear an extra layer or so, and want to enjoy Twins for St. Patty's Day, come on down. We'll try to do the best we can to accommodate everyone, but I think it's going to be, considering the fact that no bar was opened last year at this time.
Killed me.
Yeah.
It killed everything. And I think this year, a lot of people are going to be coming out, enjoying the fact that bars are opened, even if they are at a limited basis. But Talia will be floating around Manchester.
Very sloshy.
Floating.
Oh,
She'll
floating
be
is a
seriously
good word.
floating around Manchester.
Bubbling.
Yes, sir.
Not coming to Twins.
Probably more like sloshing around.
Unless she decides last minute to Uber.
Yep, last minute Ubering is always an option. That deck, I'm telling you, if you think it's chilly, that deck gets so much sun.
Yes, it
is
does.
beautiful out
You
there.
should get like a Talia can. For that
And
one.
we have
right? I should.
now that it's daylight savings time, we have the sun out a little bit longer, and the deck pretty much for most of the day through the late afternoon will at least have some sun. So,
well, this past Friday, what was it? It was 50s. And I was out on the deck with just like a light long sleeve shirt on because that sun heats you up so much. So definitely check out that deck.
Yep.
It is amazing.
I think it's going to be a fantastic day anyways, no matter where you go. But here at Twins, come on down, hang out, grab yourself some Jameson, some
red breast.
Some red breast
at the bar.
We absolutely have red breast at the bar. Hearing great things about it from other customers too who've had it. And
the rabbit hole too with that new cigar you guys have.
Oh yes, yeah, the Diesel, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So come out and just have a great time. Should be a great day.
And something else we want you all to know about that's going on is that NJBS Live is going to be moving from Monday nights to Friday nights, starting April 2nd. Friday, April 2nd. We are, trying to accommodate all of us, on the schedule and working with both stores and the bar, and so we are going to be switching our live recording to Friday nights. So, what's that? 3 weeks from now,
Correct.
we are going to be doing Friday night, April 2nd, and from then on, not just Blowing Smoke Live will happen on Friday nights at 8 o'clock, same place, same time, just a different night. And then the podcast will go out the following Monday. And so that's something we're all excited about. Hope that you all stick with us. We'll give you reminders for the next few weeks so that you can keep it in your calendar there, because we want you all still watching with us. But so starting Friday, so the Ladies' Night Takeover, which is going to be next week, the 22nd, that's going to be our last live Monday recording,
Dun, dun, dun.
of which Talia is a part of.
Yeah.
you-
Of
Yes,
course.
she is.
She's going to be a twofer 2 weeks in a row.
Oh,
That's right.
What are you bringing to drink on that show?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be bringing the Jefferson whiskey that is actually a rye aged in cognac casks.
Oh, that
So-
sounds horrible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky we're on the air.
Yeah. That was sarcasm. by the
I
way.
know, I
Okay.
know.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, Paul, did you say you had some, is he just blowing smoke ready for tonight?
Yes, I do.
Uh-huh.
An ode to St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, ode to St. Patrick's Day.
So Boston,
Boston.
which has the largest Irish population in the country, also hosts the largest St. Patrick's Day celebration in the country. Am I blowing smoke?
You're blowing smoke.
Dave says I'm blowing smoke.
Nope.
Yes.
Talia,
Nope.
Pastor.
I believe you're blowing smoke.
So you say I'm blowing smoke. Dave says I'm blowing smoke. Talia says I'm not just
She's
blowing
Greek.
smoke.
We're Irish.
Nah. This is true.
Actually, Dave and Pastor, you're absolutely correct.
Thank you.
In order, the cities that host the largest St. Patrick's Day celebration are New York City, number
Mhm.
one, Savannah, Georgia. If you can
What?
believe that, Savannah, Georgia, number two, Chicago,
Jesus.
See, I thought
Green
Nope.
River.
I thought they were number one, but okay.
No,
'Cause
they-
their
but-
celebration goes.
and again, this is all take COVID out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
they do it for like a week.
They do it for a length, several days.
Wow.
Chicago and then Boston
Wow.
is number four.
Wow.
So New York City, because they hold a huge parade, which goes on for blocks and over 2 million people come to that. Savannah, Georgia, because they're one of the few cities that actually allows you to drink while you're walking the streets.
Okay. That makes sense.
So why wouldn't you
Well,
want to
guess
come
what?
out
That
and hang out
makes
there,
sense.
right?
That makes sense. Okay. All right.
And they actually, believe it or not, they're one of the few mid-sized cities that has a very large Irish population too.
Hmm.
Very large in comparison to others. But
Trying to get to warmth, I guess.
yes, and it helps
Hmm.
that it is down there. And then Chicago, then Boston.
Mm.
You know, I heard
Yeah.
Boston canceled their St. Patrick's Day festivities this year again.
Yeah, see, there we go. So that's what I'm saying. Take COVID out of the equation.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
so
Yeah.
Let's take COVID out of the equation.
let's just take COVID out.
Out,
Period.
Take
Please.
it out.
Hammer it,
Take it,
Please.
shoot it, and be done with
Yep.
it. Thank you.
I'm waiting for the Boston whiskey party over here. Like, just,
Mhm.
it's insane.
Yep.
Wow. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable, Paul. How about a little would you rather?
Yeah.
You want to do a would you rather question?
Absolutely.
All right. Again, for St. Patty's Day, I've got a themed question here for you. And We'll see who answers first. Would you rather have to always wear green clothes for the next year, or get to wear whatever clothes you want for the next year, but always have to wear a big green leprechaun's hat?
The first one.
The first one. The
Jesus.
first one. Jesus, the first one.
Leprechaun? Come on.
Oh, come on. You'd look so cute in a leprechaun hat.
It would ruin the hair almost as much as this headset is.
Yes, I'll take wearing green for a year.
You'll take wearing green for a year? All
Yes.
green for a year.
Yes.
Sure.
As long as it can be a forest green. Yes, all green.
Green
Oh,
is
yeah.
green. Any
Oh,
kind of green.
Yep.
Okay.
Green.
All right.
What's the pastor say?
The pastor says you now have to wear green for a year. I have spoken. This is the way.
Don't think I won't show up wearing all green next week.
Yeah, we'll see what Dave wears next week as a Davina.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a second would you rather question, Pastor, if you would allow me.
Go ahead. Sure.
Let's shoot.
And it actually is very, very similar to what you said. So let's
Yeah.
see if their answers change.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather wear a leprechaun suit for a year or wear only rainbow patterns for a year?
Ooh.
Rainbow patterns.
Leprechaun suit.
Give me some Skittles. What's up? Fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to
still-
pick the leprechaun suit.
Yeah.
You're picking leprechaun suit?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wear the leprechaun suit, my friend. I gotta wear the rainbow.
I just want to see you with like
You
some
would
green
not
knickers,
look good in a rainbow.
stockings.
Yeah, no. Something about the leprechaun. Yeah, no. Sorry.
You would not look good in a
No, I would
rainbow.
not look good in a leprechaun
No.
suit.
Rainbow means tie dye.
Yeah, well, now see, I can wear tie dye.
Yeah, wear
That
tie-dye.
I don't wear tie dye, but I would wear tie dye.
See? Yep.
Absolutely.
Outside the box.
All right. So, what is our final verdict here on the Cornell Diehl Billy Bud bulk?
It's been a very rich, creamy, smooth, smoky, nice, fruity. Well, I'll say fruity, sweet blend. It's been really, really good. This has been I really, when I was reading up on this, and people were saying it is actually very full body. It is full body, but not in the intense sense. It's very full body flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the nicotine is
flavored.
not maybe more of a medium, maybe medium plus. I'm not really getting any nic hit right now. Maybe just a little bit, but not really much to speak of. But like I said, a very rich, creamy, smooth flavor. I think this is a really good tobacco. Excuse me.
It was very municipal.
Very municipal. Thank you, Nick.
Yes. Thank you, Nick. Dave, what about you?
I think I agree with Paul. It was very full flavored. Maybe even like a little bit of with the pairing, I'm getting a little bit of caramel.
Toffee.
Caramel toffee. I think this was a complimentary pairing.
Very much so.
Very much so. That's my guy. Very good. 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
Very happy. Yes. I'm out of red breast. It's sad.
One little taste left.
Mm-hmm. Talia, what about you? Have you been able to keep smoking the pipe, or did it go out on you? Did you give up on it?
I've been
What's the-
relighting it.
Yay!
Yeah, I like it. Like I said, I really enjoy how that kind of spice lingers on my tongue a little bit while I'm drinking the whiskey.
Mm.
And it's really easy to smoke. It was very smooth. It had a really nice flavor. A little bit sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So, as my first pipe tobacco smoked with you gents, I think it was a home run.
All right.
Very, very nice. Now, I'm curious. One of the things that really just as far as ingredients in the blend that they really build up is that there's a lot of cigar leaf in here. Did any of you pick that up?
Not really. No, I can't say that I have. I was searching for that when I first had this morning, and I really had a hard time trying to find that tobacco, that cigar tobacco. I really couldn't distinguish it.
I get it right on the tip of my tongue. Like when I first draw the smoke,
Yeah.
I can taste a little bit of cigar leaf.
Yeah.
That's about it.
How does it taste to you, Dave? How do you pick it up?
I would say like a earth and leather mix
Mm-hmm.
of a cigar leaf to me. How about yourself, Dan?
Well, I raised the question because I don't really pick up anything in here that says cigar.
Yeah.
The Latakia is very, very forward. That smokiness, that campfire-y kind of mesquite, kind of smoky wood flavor, is the predominant thing here. It's very good. It's very smooth. There is that sweetness from the Virginias that you guys are talking about. But I have a real hard time picking up like cigar from this.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, and if anything, it's maybe playing a supporting role with maybe the, I don't know what tobacco, but it maybe enhancing some of the other tobacco, whether it's the Latakia or the Burley, but it's not something that I can pick out on its own.
Well, all in all, though, I think it's a great tobacco.
Yeah,
I think it's very, very good. It goes fantastic with the Redbreast.
Oh yes.
Great. I agree with Dave. Complementary pairing. The sweetness in the drink, the sweetness in the tobacco. They both have a nice spice to them that is just playing off each other very well. Very, very good stuff. So Talia, you did a great job pairing something that went with two completely different things.
Yeah.
Very, very much. And as a part of the prize that goes along with doing that, you will be back next week.
All right.
As
As if I had a choice.
Yeah, that's right.
What we're calling the Ladies' Night Takeover.
Yeah.
And so next week, Bree, Kendra, the Potion Master, and Talia are all going to be back, along with another guest, the Dunbarton girl herself, Yvonne Ramey. And they're going to be smoking the Sobremesa Cervantes Fino cigar and 1Q by Lane Limited, aka Granite State, if you're a Twins customer there. And that's going to be a really, really good show. And Dave will be there because he has to produce. He's hoping against hope that they're going to dress him in drag and that he will become Davina.
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 But
I
we'll
love that.
see.
That's awesome.
We'll see if that happens. God might not allow it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm not kidding.
But that's happening next week. But until then, thanks so much, everybody, for joining us, and hope you had a good time with us tonight. And make sure you subscribe, follow, and thank you again for being with us tonight. And that is not just blowing smoke, people.
Thanks everyone for
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.